Alright everyone, as always, we've got another roundup of the best Nintendo Switch eShop deals across the US, Canada, UK, Europe and Australia, including some absolute gems, deep discounts, and a few hidden indies you might have missed. Now, quick heads up, this week's video, it's a little different. It's a little longer, and that's because there isn't much crossover between regions. We've got some exclusives to the US and Canada, and some fantastic deals only available in the UK, Europe and Australia. So to make sure everyone has something to look at, I've packed in more games than usual. Now, if you do enjoy the video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, helps out the channel a huge amount. You know, we've got weekly deals, news, reviews, all that good stuff for Switch, so why not join us? And now, let's get into it. Just quickly then, before we do get to the games, stick around for our two $10 eShop gift card winners as well. We do this every single week, and if you do want to enter this week for your chance to win in next Saturday's video, all you need to do is drop a comment down below, and yeah, winners announced next Saturday. Alright, so our first game of the week is Laika Aged Through Blood. It's 50% off a new low price, and this is a unique blend of side-scrolling motorbike action and Metroidvania-styled exploration. They've dubbed it the first ever Motorvania, a term I absolutely adore. But yeah, the concept, we're basically a coyote mother, we are seeking vengeance, and that is against an oppressive bird regime. They have destroyed our home, essentially, and it's really all about themes of loss and resilience. It's actually quite a well-done story, honestly. I don't expect too much in this genre, and this one definitely delivered. It is the gameplay, though, that truly makes it stand out. You're navigating this world on your motorbike, but what I like is I thought it was going to be incredibly fast-paced. That's often not the case. It's really about precision. It's all skill-based, and I particularly like to reload your weapons or to deflect bullets, you have to perform flips. So it's almost like stunt gameplay as well. On top of this then, visually, it's stunning. Soundtrack is beautifully done. And yeah, this game, just highly recommended. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition is 90% off a new low price. It's actually one of my favorite deals of the week. So basically, it's a turn-based JRPG. It combines monster collecting mechanics with this cyberpunk narrative. Basically, there's a series of cyber incidents that are affecting both the real and the digital realms. What I like about this release is it actually includes both Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. So it's basically two intertwined storylines, and it is a massive package. You're going to get hours upon hours of gameplay here. So yeah, look, if you like your Digimon, this one features over 300 of them. There's this evolution system, so a lot of experimentation. You'll obviously be collecting them, raising them, and it's a blend of dungeon exploration and really solid strategic combat. So this one is highly recommended, and I think this price personally, it is a steal. Far Lone Sales then is 87% off a new low price. Another side-scroller, another vehicle-based one actually as well. It's an adventure where you manage and maintain a land ship. It's basically a journey across a dried-out seabed, and it's all about exploration with, I'd say, very light puzzle-solving elements. It's, yeah, a game about the journey rather than, let's say, traditional challenge. When it does come to challenge, though, it's going to be all aboard the vessel. So you need to fuel the engine, manage steam pressure, deploy sails, repair any damage you may have taken aboard. Yeah, it's all about that rhythmic flow of paying attention to the vehicle's needs. As long as you do that, you will get through the journey, the path you need to follow. I think when it comes to the game, it's going to be an acquired taste purely because the story is wordless. It is very much left up to interpretation. It's witnessing the world and kind of, yeah, environmental storytelling. I think the thing that really makes it stand out, though, is the soundtrack. Absolutely stunning. If you do play this and enjoy it as well, I'd highly recommend its sequel. Wild Bastards is 60% off a new low price. This is a spiritual sequel, I guess, to Void Bastards. It's basically a first-person shooter mixed with strategy, so expect arena-style first-person shootouts with then a map-based overworld, where you're basically making tactical decisions under pressure with a crew of 13 outlaws. Each of those outlaws have their own weapons and skill trees, and that is because between combat, these locations are actually procedurally generated. So when you choose a planet or, you're looking at the threats ahead, you can very much strategically choose which outlaws you will take into battle. Now the story is, I'm going to say it overstays its welcome a little bit, but basically the concept is your crew was nearly wiped out, and now the last of the Wild Bastards teams up with this sentient ship, and you're on this journey to basically revive them all. See, I had a lot of fun with it. I think the combat especially really good fun. It's kind of bite-sized shootouts where you have these really cool powers. You can jump between two characters at any one time. It is a little bit more strategic. I wouldn't call it run and gun. But also, this world has a lot of personality. It's that kind of cel-shaded, unique style that I think really makes it stand out. Alright, so shout out to Untold Tales for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, Bearnard. This is 20% off right now, obviously a launch discount. And this is a really unique one. It's a blend of 2D platforming, turn-based strategy, and card-based combat. And you play as titled Bearnard. They are a master archer on a quest to essentially reclaim a bow and defend his woodland home. Now, it combines physics-based puzzles with tactical battles. And yeah, it's kind of this mishmash almost, let's say, of classic genres. But expect a ton of different biomes, environmental puzzles to overcome. And then the strategic turn-based battles are really good fun because you'll be collecting and utilizing over 60 different cards. And each of those cards then basically offers different abilities, from think healing and traps to elemental attacks. So yeah, really kind of unique and evolving combat concept, shall we say. On top of this then, I really found the personality of the characters and the world, definitely a lot of charm in that. And it was made by one developer, which is just, yeah, seriously impressive when you factor in you've got like physics-based puzzles that work really well. This card-driven combat that takes a hell of a lot to balance, and they've pulled it off here. And yeah, you've kind of got this, but if you go into this one, look, it's going to challenge both reflexes, your strategy, and it has released on Steam already, where it has got a very positive rating. So yeah, players have loved the game so far, and now we get our chance on the Nintendo Switch. So if you do want to check it out, find it in the pinned comment down below. And once again, thanks to Untold Tales for sponsoring today's video. Kao the Kangaroo then is 87% off a new at low price. This one is a 3D platformer that's obviously paying homage to the golden age of the genre. You'll be controlling Kao, a boxing glove-wearing kangaroo. You're navigating through different environments, of course packed with collectibles, puzzles, enemies. Yeah, exploration and combat is the name of the game here, but definitely got that nostalgic feel spot on. Now, at launch, it did have its issues. I will put this out there. There was initial bugs, performance issues. They have been addressed now through multiple patches, so just be aware of that. If you do walk away and check out a review, you'll actually see that in my own review where I note that the game crashes. No longer the case. But I think what makes this game stand out for me is just the variety in its location. Some really fun areas. You know, of course, elemental powers, fire, ice, wind, it kind of all plays into this. But some really fun enemies as well. My only complaint with this game, transparently, is the characters and the voice acting. Incredibly annoying. Aside from that, though, I just basically skipped cutscenes personally or didn't pay attention to them. But yeah, Kao the Kangaroo, if you want a throwback, definitely one of the better options on the system. Alright, so Gaiden now is 65% off a new at low price. This is an old school influenced 2D action platform. I think it's channeling the spirits of Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man. If you like either of those, definitely check out this game. So basically, there's two robots you can control, and you're racing through levels to retrieve these stolen power skulls. That is before bosses grow stronger over time, and that is the best bit about this game. Basically, the quicker you complete a level, the weaker the boss is at the end. So it's going to really encourage that replayability. Can you master what the game is throwing at you? I also love the visual design with this one. Comic book inspired, looks beautiful, big chunky characters. The soundtrack, you know, old school, fast paced, heavy. It's just awesome. It really nails the vibe, and I think for this price personally, if you're willing to face the challenge, because it's definitely not easy, yeah, well worth a look. Symphonia then is 25% off a new low price. This one is a relatively recent release. It's basically a 2D precision platformer, and the concept is music and movement intertwined. It's basically not quite as difficult, but like a Super Meat Boy-esque experience. The one thing I will say about this game that's really interesting, I thought the music was going to be really impressive, and I actually found it a little bit dull at points. That said, the gameplay is solid. It's all about using your bow to catapult yourself through these different locations. There's a lot of like platforming challenges and almost puzzles to overcome. The story, like the music, basically the orchestra has vanished. You're trying to get them all back together, shall we say, get the band back together, let's call it, Blues Brothers style. But yeah, overall, I thought the gameplay was really good. The challenge was really fun. Visually, I think it looks really nice. Just kind of a shame that a game about music didn't quite stand out in that area as much as I had hoped. BLAZBLUE Cross Tag Battle then is 80% off and new low price, and this is a 2D tag team fighting game developed by Arc System Works. You know, they are masters of the genre. Now, I love BLAZBLUE. This wouldn't be my first choice. That would be Central Fiction. But this one's good because it is designed for, well, I won't say it's entry level, but it is simplified. It's more about the crossover. So it features characters from BLAZBLUE, Persona 4 Arena, Under Night In-Birth, Ruby as well. And they all have, well, it's a massive cast basically with unique abilities, play styles, and you're playing tag team as well. So you're taking 2 characters each time into this battle. It also includes an episode mode, so story mode, training, tactics, and online multiplayer, though I can't guarantee anyone at this point will still be online. Just be aware that it's a Switch. We don't have the best online audience at times. But yeah, huge crossover appeal with this one. Definitely more accessible to mechanics than most out there. As I said, simplified controls, and visually, you just can't beat Arc. Absolutely stunning. All right, so Tchia then is 67% off a new low price, and this is a tropical open world sandbox adventure, essentially. You control Tchia, this young girl with this ability to soul jump into animals and objects. So it's all really about traversal and then puzzle solving. There's some very light combat, but those moments are few and far between. But it's just about the journey more than anything. You're setting out to rescue your kidnapped father from a tyrannical lord, I guess. But I think it's the world that makes this one so special. You can climb, glide, swim, sail. You can possess over 30 different animals, different objects. It gets really creative. It's a game where I'd often stop and just see what I could experiment with. And I think that is often the perfect reflection of just fun. So yeah, soul jumping, awesome. The one thing I will say is it's not the best looking game on the Switch. I still didn't think it was bad personally. And it is very cozy, very relaxed. So if you don't like a slow pace, probably not going to be a good option. Trover Saves the Universe then is 67% off. This is a new low price. This was originally a VR experience. That is no longer the case, of course. It comes from the Rick and Morty team, so what you get in here is something incredibly weird, incredibly strange. But basically, it's a 3D action platformer with puzzle-solving elements. Now, we control the title Trover, and the concept is we are on a mission to rescue your kidnapped dogs from what is a lunatic, essentially, for lack of a better term. So yeah, you're going to be exploring different planets. You're going to be facing combat puzzles. There's going to be some morally, let's say, ambiguous choices that influence the narrative. Good fun though. Unusual, like I say unusual, extremely out there sense of humor, completely over the top characters. But if you like this style of humor, if you like this universe, then I think you'll have no complaints, especially at this price. Conscript then is 40% off a new low price. This is a top-down survival horror game. It's set during World War I. It is inspired by games like Resident Evil, like Silent Hill, never a bad thing. And basically, you're navigating trench warfare environments, you're managing limited resources, and you're trying to solve some actually pretty challenging environmental puzzles. Yeah, there's even combat scenarios that are actually pretty damn tough. Now, you play as Andre, a French soldier searching for his missing brother during the battle. And yeah, it's really all about exploration of these different trench systems. And honestly, it's a terrifying game, but only because I think the reflection of war, that portrayal of its brutality, it's not resorting to supernatural elements or even like cheap jump scares. And yeah, I think they've done a hell of a job here with the pixel art aesthetic to actually deliver on that. Sound design as well deserves a shout out. Some of the explosions, some of the battles really is kind of, I don't know, gets you on the edge of the seat. So yeah, if you want something that's a little bit different, think World War I era weapons, that kind of environment, very almost, how can I put this, very dull look, but in a positive way. It kind of captures the mood. Yeah, Conscript, I actually think is really special. 1000 Resistance is 25% off, matching the low price. And this is a narrative-driven sci-fi adventure. It's blending elements of visual novel, of third-person exploration, and first-person walking simulator. I'll say this now, it's a masterpiece. It's a must-play game if you like any of those different gameplay styles. So basically the concept here is we assume the role of Watcher. We are a clone that lives in this post-apocalyptic future, and we are tasked with reliving and interpreting the memories of the All-Mother. That's the last survivor after a pandemic basically decimates humanity. Really deep themes with this one. Themes of identity, memory, resistance, generational trauma. It's all in here, and honestly, you won't find a bad word against this game, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It looks special. The narrative, it's winning awards. It's absolutely stunning. And yeah, there is a reason this game got critical acclaim, and I think it just deserves more love. If you like, again, visual novels, third-person exploration, first-person walking simulators, or most importantly, just a really good narrative, this game should be in your library. The Coma Triple Threat Bundle then is 60% off, a new low price. I love these games, so seeing a trilogy of them, perfect. They are 2D side-scrolling survival horror games. They blend stealth, exploration, and a whole lot of narrative. Now, I won't say they're perfect, the horror elements being 2D, a lot of the running away gets a little bit repetitive, but it's a universe I love. So in the first game, we're basically trying to escape a nightmarish version of our school. In the second, Vicious Sisters, it essentially expands upon that formula. New characters, we're going in, let's say, to find that character from the first game, or at least we're trying to understand what occurred to them at least. But then we can go beyond the school now. There's like markets, and it almost gets into like this Hellboy style of world where there's like really unique characters, but it's not as black and white as good versus evil anymore. There's characters that I guess exist in between. And then the Coma 2B Catacomb was the most recent, and that's really just a side story that expands. It falls really to, not, let's say, connect the two, but it falls somewhere in between. Love the visual style, love the horror, love the characters. I'd love to see them continue to expand into this universe because I think they've got something really special here. And I think it's a fantastic price. For 3 games, it's going to give you a decent amount of gameplay. All right, the 2 winners for the 2 $10 eShop gift cards then are on screen right now. Congrats both. Drop me an email for the code. Everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Animal World, another masterpiece actually, had 25% off a new low price. This is a 2D Metroidvania puzzle platformer, and basically we control a blob that's navigating this interconnected labyrinth that's full of secrets, environmental puzzles. But yeah, that's what really the game emphasizes: exploration, observation, and I guess creative use of items over what I'd call traditional combat. But yeah, players will explore an incredibly surreal world. You'll have all sorts of weird tools, and some of the puzzles are, in my opinion, mind-blowing. There was moments when I had hours where I was just exploring, couldn't figure out where the hell I was going. Then it just kind of does something that makes it all click. So I will say it's definitely very much a game where you're going to need to use that brain power, and it can be a slow burn at times, so be aware of that going in. But I think it really is such a well-done delivery. The characters, the world, it's so surreal, it's so unique. The atmosphere is unlike anything else out there, quite honestly, and the puzzles as well are really interesting, really well done. There was never a moment in this game where I sat back and said like, oh, there we go again, that same old, same old puzzle. Animal World was in development for years, and yeah, they've done a hell of a job with it. Sifu then is 70% off a new low price, and this is basically a third-person action brawler with martial arts combat, really deep martial arts combat, but also roguelike elements as well. Basically, we're controlling a student on a path of revenge, and it's all about utilizing strikes, dodges, and parries. What happens though is each time we die, it ages the character. That actually affects our health and damage output. So basically, the older and wiser we get, we might be, less health, for example, but we're better at what we're doing. We're better at the strikes. We're better at the speed. We understand our enemy, let's say, placement. On top of the base game then as well, they also did an Arenas expansion that adds 45 different challenges across 5 modes. That is tons of gameplay. It's over 10 hours of additional content. They dropped that for free. So absolute respect to the team here. The only problems on Switch, there's a few moments where the frame rate will struggle. They are, however, few and far between. And I think generally, this game, with how good it looks, I am really impressed with the port. If you are, a bit of a pop culture nerd as well, Arenas includes quite a few nods to iconic films as well. I think The Matrix and Old Boy. So yeah, really good fun. Big fan of the game. I'm hoping to see a sequel eventually. But for now, yeah, this one is a must play. And that is the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let me know in the comments below. A shout out then to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for what will soon again be daily Nintendo Switch content, especially with the Switch 2 right around the corner. That supports the channel a huge amount. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers all.